I'm Bob Main. I'm running for Coos County Commissioner. Watch Channel 98 or on the web, coosmediacenter.pegcentral.com, and get to know what I'm all about.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike O'Brien, your host here on Coos County's Talking. Our guest here is Bob Main. Bob is running for what he's currently at right now, Coos County Commissioner, position number 1. Bob, thanks for being here. Appreciate it very much.
Good to be here.
Us here. Well, at this part of the show here, we get to know the individual that's sitting in that chair, and that just happens to be you. So get to know a little bit about who you are, where you're from, your background, and that way the folks get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. Well, I was born in Coos County. Some of my relatives homesteaded here. My mother was one of 2 of the graduating class of Lakeside High School. My dad was a valedictorian salutatorian 1 year, and you know why?
Why is that, Bob?
He was the only one in the class.
Oh, there you go.
Went to North Bend schools and SWAC, and then off to college. And then came back in '78 to the courthouse as an appraiser for the assessor's office, and then commercial appraiser, then computer manager, analyst, and then assessor, and then commissioner.
So you kind of moved a little bit through the different offices there at the county, which gives you a little bit around that perspective.
Oh, sure, and it was 30 plus years in the courthouse.
Well, there you go, right there. So, you know, there's a lot of different topics out there, a lot of things going on in the county, and of course, you, since you've been with the county for a while, have been helping move things in different directions to open opportunities for folks here in the county.
Right.
And so some of the things that we can talk about a little bit here. If you want to talk about the Coos County timber market, what that's all about, and fill in the folks on that.
Okay. Well, I ran last time, and I'm running now for Coos County Commissioner to make a positive difference for the citizens of Coos County. And one of the things, it's very unusual for a commissioner to make money. We're really good at spending it, but to make money, I changed the way we market the timber for the Coos County Forestry Department. And that way, in January, we marketed the timber. We were ready to go when that Chinese market changed for the whitewoods, and we gained about an extra $3 million because we marketed at the moment when it was hot. Second thing is that we spent a year and a half fighting some anti-development folks from Arizona at the Riley Ranch. We wanted to put in the Riley Ranch Bridge, which we just completed.
Right back.
But they put us back about a year and a half, and I was really involved in that. Of course, I'm the county parks liaison. So eventually, we finally got approval from the judge, and we have it built. And now that will put the county parks department in the black, and no longer a drain on the general fund. Within the Riley Ranch Park, we also developed with volunteer labor a motocross track, which is bringing people in from all over Oregon into the area, and they're here spending money in the county. Another thing I'm working on is the agreement between Coos County and the BLM. And the BLM local folks are really good to work with. We will have an agreement for the first time since about early 1900. Who owns the road, the Wagon Road, okay?
Right.
That has been a controversy since about 1917, 1918, somewhere in there. And we're finally going to get that straightened out as to who owns it and what the road widths are between the county and the BLM. And the last thing I'm working on with the BLM is they want to turn over their portion of the Bassendorf Beach to the County Parks Department. So we can expand the County Parks Department and once and for all have that a great place for families to go.
Of course, the county is always looking for opportunities to increase revenue.
Yes, always.
Well,
we've been trying and trying and trying.
Exactly, and this with what Peter DeFazio is proposing in with this bill has the potential at creating more revenue for the county.
Absolutely. There's two segments to it. One is, and I'm on the ONC board.
Right.
There are 9 of us that represent the 18 ONC counties, and we've been working on this for a long time and promoting this, and it finally gelled with DeFazio, Walden, and Schrader, and they had a joint bill that they're putting forth. That what it'll do is turn over to the ONC counties 1.5 million acres of ONC lands to be harvested under the Oregon Forest Practices Act, which is separate and distinct from the WAPR federal regulations or the Northwest Forest Plan. Means we operate under the Oregon Forest Practices Act. We, Coos County, would get 6% of that revenue, and that's what we've historically gotten, which typically would be between 5 and 6 million. But the real plum in this act starts on page 55
of the bill.
Which says that the federal government's going to turn over 55,000 acres to Coos County of that wagon road.
Okay.
That's everything that's 125 years of age tree-wise and less.
Okay.
We have to share 20% of the proceeds with Douglas County because historically they had 20% of the land, of the wagon road land in their county, and we had 80%. And I'm happy with that. I'm just overjoyed that we get 80% of those proceeds off the timber, and it has to be on a sustained yield basis of at least 100 years. So at 55,000 acres, that's what, 550 acres?
Yeah.
That's somewhere in the $10 to $15 million range.
Right.
Less 20%.
Right.
I am in favor of, and the bill says the county shall manage the lands. It doesn't say anybody else. If we want to contract it out, then it has to go out for competitive bid.
So Lance and his crew would be taking care
Lance
of
Morgan, the county forester,
would be taking care of
would obviously have to add some people
Right.
if we did it, which I assume we would.
Right.
And I'm in favor of the county managing lands because we've been working under the Oregon Forest Practices Act, the county forestry department, since 1972. Totally familiar with that. Coos County Forestry Department roughly costs about 10% of the sale value, which then we get to keep 90% of the sale value. That extra money that we get, some people have proposed a 50-50 sharing, but that 40% difference between the 10 and the 50 would give us an extra $4 to $9 million. Just think what we could do with that land, that money. We could have free county dumping. We could pave county gravel roads. We could fix paved county gravel roads. We could have a full staff of deputies in the jail that keep people there that need to stay there. And we could have full road deputies.
Right.
That would be huge for us.
Right.
So combined with the ONC land and the wagon road, we're talking 10 to 15 to $20 million a year.
Right.
And we've been existing on 5 or less for our general fund. So that is just the most amazing act that we could ever wish for Coos County.
Right, right.
And we've been working on it a long time.
It's not just 1 year we're talking.
No, that's forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And trees are renewable, so it's not like something else where you go extract it and then it's gone.
Right.
This is renewable every year from now on.
Right.
So if it goes through, and I hope everybody out there writes a letter to all of our congresspeople and all of our senators, Wyden and Merkley, etc., and anybody else that they might want to send a letter to. Personal letters are always better, and encourage that to happen, because that is, not only is it great for Coos County, but it adds about 12,000 jobs in Oregon. The 2 quarters ago, the U.S. only added 15,000 jobs in all of the United States. So 12,000 added in Northwest is tremendous. And what senator or representative wouldn't want to go home and say, today I voted for something that created 12,000 jobs?
Absolutely.
In these times. That would be great.
Yeah. So now, Bob, I know there's a lot of things going on, a lot of hot topics out there, and we didn't really have enough time to get to it. But just real briefly, what are some of those things that you really wanted to
the other ones,
yes.
besides the one that we talked about?
You're right. Yeah, exactly.
One is mining. That's a hot topic in our county forest, and we need the jobs, number one. I'm all for mining, but we need to be careful not to supplant or replace the forestry jobs with the mining jobs and put local forestry workers out of work. That has to be considered. And we need that county forest. You know, in January of 11, we sold $5.3 million worth of trees off of 300 acres of that 15,000 acre county forest. That's huge. And I talked to their attorney last September about reopening negotiations, and they haven't contacted us yet except for one minor little contact since then. And I assume because they are really busy getting the plant up and operating and make it run smoothly and getting their mining operation running smoothly, and they will be back soon.
Coos County manager. You know, there's been pros, there's been cons.
I
mean, you know, people have been shuffling that around back and forth.
There's a lot of rocks going back and forth. Yes.
You know, just trying to get, is it going to be good for us? Is it not going to be good for us? And what do you take on that?
I've come out and said I really don't favor it. A couple of things. We don't need another layer of government. You want a non-elected manager to be over the sheriff and the county clerk and the county assessor and the county surveyor? You know, we founded this country on a separation of power, and that separation has checks and balances. And you like to elect your sheriff or your clerk, both, and your surveyor and your assessor. All of them do an excellent job. Do you want somebody now as a manager telling them how they should do their jobs? And that may lead to what some people are promoting, home rule. Well, then they would appoint the sheriff and the clerk and the assessor and the surveyor. I'm not in favor of that. We need a separation so that one person isn't over all of those folks.
So what you're saying is the way that it's been ran, all, you know, each commissioner being a liaison between all departments has been, in your opinion, working.
Yes, very well, extremely well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, fantastic. Now, before we
have some. Before we go on,
sure.
Our managers, and we have 25 or 30 of them, some major, some minor. They do an excellent job. The people working for the county, there's half as many as there were in 1999, and they're doing the job. They're doing it well, with limited resources, and they're amazing folks. They just are.
They're making it happen, no doubt about that. Real quick here, we got about a minute, but touch a little bit about on the abandoned marsh real quick.
That's been a hot one.
Yeah, so let's touch on that real quick, and then we'll
a couple of points. I don't feel we need to lose any more farmland to the government. They want to flood it, as you know. One of the things, I guess, people in Washington, D.C. don't seem to, or at least my impression is, my opinion, that they don't seem to know where food comes from. And, you know, kind of a tongue-in-cheek, when Washington, D.C. converts back to a swamp, remember it was, then I'll consider converting ours to swamp too.
What's good for us is good for them.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, they should be first, shouldn't they?
Oh, there you go. Well, they lead, don't they? Supposed to? Okay. Well, Bob, hey, I appreciate you spending some time with us here and talking about some of the different topics, and I know you got to get going here. And so thanks for joining us once again here for another Coos County Talking. I'm Michael Bryan here. Don't forget you can catch us on the web anytime, anywhere, it doesn't matter, at coosmediacenter.pegcentral.com. Of course, on TV, you'll be able to watch all our candidates on there as well on Channel 98. Thanks for joining us once again for another Coos County Talking. I'm Michael Bryan. Thanks for joining us.